What's up, everyone, and welcome to Free for All Friday, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl and Lions Nation Unite. It's the Queen of the Prowl here, and it looks like I'm on my own today, but we'll see who else decides to show up maybe last minute. Whatever, you still will have me all to yourself, looks like. We got Kurt Steele, who's celebrating his birthday bash, so we think he'll be back next week. But hey, we'll see how things go. And if you guys got any questions, I'll be happy to answer for them. I'll be happy to answer them myself for you. I do have one thing that I do want to talk about real quick before we kind of get into anything. You know, this topic comes up every once in a while at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And I'm kind of used to it, but I noticed that there's a lot of misunderstanding, so I'm going to kind of bring it up for you guys today, so that you guys can get a clarity about me and my role here at Detroit Lions on the Prowl, because a lot of people question why a Chicago Bears fan is running a Detroit Lions on the Prowl channel for diehard Lions fans. And there's some kind of misconceptions around who I am, what my role is, and what I think and believe in. You know, why should diehard Lions fans listen to a Chicago Bears fan? I mean, and how come you aren't, equally a Bears fan and a Lions fan at best? Well, I'm going to get into a lot of that today for you guys. Y'all know that my late husband, Jim, started this channel along with Maniac Tim, who is his best friend. This was a channel that was created to be a community for diehard Lions fans, right? So this is supposed to be a place for you guys to talk about the team. Now, my husband is the one who designated me with the title of Queen of the Prowl for a very specific reason. Even though I am a diehard Bears fan, and I didn't even ever want to bring up that fact ever on the show, but it was him that made it a point that I should be forthright in that fact in the first place. Okay. Now, I'm the Queen of the Prowl for a reason, is because I'm the one that from the very beginning has created the atmosphere of family here as kind of being the mama. Okay. And my perspective was not to ever come on the show as a Bears fan talking about the Lions. No, my voice was to be the outside perspective of the rest of the NFL for what they see going on in Detroit. So when these cameras go on, this camera goes on for me, my Bears fandom is left at the door unless somebody brings it up or we're kind of trash talking in the game or whatever in fun. Okay? My loyalty in that team lies in the fact that that's my hometown. That's what gave me the love of football in the first place. But that does not mean that I hate the Lions at all. I have a very deep affection for the Lions and the Lions team. So when I say things good or bad about the team, it's all in an objective manner. Okay? I am looking at things from an objective point. Now, I can get the fact that, okay, well, maybe I should be, equal fan. It's kind of hard to do when your loyalty has been to, a team that gave you the love of the game in the first place. But that I have great affection for this team. If I didn't, this channel would have gone off the air at the end of November 2021. Okay? This family right here, the Prowl Nation family, is the reason this show continues. You guys that have continued to ride or die and support have been the ones who have supported me in my darkest times behind the scenes of this show. So this space was supposed to be for you. It's not my opinions. It's not Kurt's opinions. It's your guys' opinions. And so that's why this show continues. I love all of you all. And if I get in your feelings sometimes about what I say about the team, it is not in a bashing manner. It is only what I see. If you trust me, if you actually have listened to me, I probably bash the Bears way more often than not than the Lions. And in fact, I have actually defended the Lions against diehard Lions fans all year long when Hutch was a bust, Goff has noodle arm, blah, 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 blah. So, you know what? It is what it is. That's who I am. And that's exactly it, Detroit fan man. My Bears fandom is an asset to the show. This is why this was so critical, right? Because as the outside voice for the NFL, it brings an extra perspective to the show. And because of that, there are other fans from other fan bases that become diverse and part of the Prowl Nation family as well, from Green Bay, from the 49ers to the Dolphins, all of you all to come together, because what is the main goal here? We want to talk about the game, right? And that's what really matters here. It doesn't matter about whatever. This is about the Detroit Lions. We're going to talk about the Detroit Lions, and it's good to see other perspective. You know, I'm going to be the person. I'm not going to be the person who's drinking the Kool-Aid, and I'm not going to be the person who's SOL. But I'm going to give you the realistic look at what I see about the team. So I don't want to ever hear anybody say that I hate this team, because if I hated this team, why would you hate a team and continue a channel devoted to them and spend the hours that we do on a daily basis with this show and the money I put into it? Because this is not a source of income for me, y'all, at all. So, I have a very deep affection for you guys, the Prowl Nation family, and I will continue to do so for as long as you guys want to be here. This space is all about you guys, not me, whatever. I know my opinion doesn't really matter in the scheme of things, but I'm not coming at this show as part of Bears fandom. Okay, so you might want to actually look at it as, try to keep that bias out of your mind, because I put that behind me when the cameras come on today. So, yeah. So, yeah. If you were a fraud Lions fan who hid behind your Bears fandom, that would heavily diminish the quality of this channel. Thank you for being you. Thank you so much for that, Detroit fan man. I appreciate that stuff, because you know what? It brings an extra flavor to this. I love a lot of Lions content creators. I really do. And I talk to them daily behind the scenes. But you're not going to find a space where the focus is on you guys and not we could just come on the show and just say what we got to say, shut off the cameras and go on about our day. And, you're just sitting in their chat, just talking to dead air. But no, your opinions are the ones that matter here. And that will continue to be so for as long as you guys want to be here. So good morning, Michael Huck. Good morning, Detroit fan man. Good morning, Super Saiyan. Good morning, John Kapler. What up? Yeah, haters, the Lions are coming for you. It's okay. You know what? If they want to come for me, they can come for me. But they just misunderstand. I get it. I get it. I'm not a typical Bears fan, and I can understand it because there have been a lot of Bears fans, excuse me, that are honestly obnoxious as shit. Okay, and I am too, but I can kind of explain that a little bit to you guys. It you know, eh, and help you kind of see it a little bit differently. It's just the way we talk. It's no big deal. There is no like disrespect I have for the Lions whatsoever. There's no rivalry feelings I have. I love it. I mean, I'm all for seeing the Lions succeed, even over my own team. If this team rocks it, rock it, man. Y'all deserve this to be rocking. You all deserve it. I want to be able to see it. I kind of get the sympathy of it. As a Chicago Cubs fan, I understand the struggle and the problems with having a team that's just seemed to just not dig themselves out of a hole for years and years and years. But that day is coming. And I was the one to call it out and see it the moment I saw Dan Campbell step on the stage in his very first press conference. I said, "Oh shit, things have changed now in Detroit." And y'all are getting to see that coming. And so, yeah. Other perspective, we all hate the Packers. Have to be, well, yeah, you know what? We all hate the Packers, but even we've got some Packers fans still in the Proud Nation because of the fact that, hey, you know what? It's good to see other perspectives. As long as you're going to be respectful about it, it's really, really, really cool. I mean, look, don't let your obsession for the game overrule being respectful to humanity. People are people, right? We can hate the teams, we can hate the stuff, but at the end of the day, we're all people with human beings with feelings and emotions and whatever. So of course, we're going to be accepting of everybody if you want to be part of the family. But like I said, Green Bay, FTP, the Vikings are irrelevant, and the Lions are just like and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but it's like you're the little brothers or the brothers of the family. Older brother, younger brother. We're only older because we've been the Bears have been in the team or been in the NFL longer. So that's kind of like that. But when it's play fighting, I love it. I love that because I get to see a very fun game between the two of them where it's not a bunch of aggression and just like we hate each other kind of a thing, but we just are there to actually just enjoy a great game of football. And that's why I love both teams, because I see a lot of cool stuff about the Lions, and I just, I want to see this team succeed as well. I really do. So, okay. So now that I've got that ran out of the way, I hope you guys can understand where I'm coming from as far as this as what my role is here on the show. So, just understand in the future that if I do say anything bad about the Lions, I'm doing it from an objective standpoint. I'm doing it because I see that this is something that could be improved, or there might be an issue with this. I'm just pointing something out. So take it for what it is. It's not anything to be bashing of the Lions whatsoever. So, hey, if you want to trash talk about Chicago, go ahead, trash talk about Chicago. I love it. I'm going. Yeah, we're going off the rails without even knowing it. Yeah, I had to kind of. I love it when y'all go off the rails. I love this. I love it when you guys make this show go off the rails. It's so absolutely great. Shaman, if if there were no other opinions from other fandoms, all fan content would be awful echo chambers and boring. Right. I mean, this space was meant to be a place where everybody could come and talk about the game, you know, with a focus on being the Detroit Lions, because that is the main team. You know, that is my husband's diehard team. So yes, of course, we're talking about the Lions, but that doesn't mean that we got to shut other people out in the conversation. You know, so of course not. Nope. Morning, King SJ. How are you doing? Little brother about to grow up and get revenge on the older siblings. You know what? Yeah. The big brother who used to always like bully the younger brothers and kind of lock them in the basement, and then all of a sudden the little brother comes and kicks him in the nuts. I think that's about to happen. So I think that did happen this year, to be honest. So we'll see how the brothers decide to continue their sibling rivalry, so to speak, in the future. But we do have some topics of discussion we could get into today, and not have this just be a complete rant on my thing. So you know what? I'll talk about the stuff with you if you want. We're going into talking about the question I was going to ask people if they were going to join here, and be part of the panel was, what is your reaction to Ben Johnson's return? I am so super excited. I ended up today calling him Ben the Builder. So Ben the Builder is back, baby, and to finish the construction in Detroit. So this was very good news this week. I guess the Lions gave him a big raise. I kind of said that this was like for his storyline, but hey, money talks too, right? So whatever it takes, the Lions are doing whatever it takes to continue building this team, and there's a lot of good things coming up ahead. There really is. Wait, we're keeping Ben Johnson in Detroit. No pants off season time. I don't know what no pants off season time is, but I don't think I want to know what about BJ and no pants in the same sentence. But the Detroit Lions are Harry Potter under the staircase, or at least we used to be. I don't know too much about Harry Potter. I never paid attention to that, but they were locked in the basement for quite a long time, and I think they figured the way to claw out. Michael Lede, they might still give Ben even more weapons if we draft a running back or tight end. The tight end thing I don't think is going to be that much of an issue. A running back I could see. A running back is a definite weapon for me. I don't think that Swift is going to be here much longer. So, yeah, I could see running back being a need there. King SJ. Clad Benny is coming back for another year. Like he said, unfinished business. Yeah, I think, you know what? This was such a close year. I had called 10-7, and I said, I was one of the ones that said that they were very good to have a chance for the wild card spot. That Carolina Panthers game, boy, that hurt. But it is what it is. And they did have some issues at the beginning of the year with all the injuries. They were so close. Next year is supposed to be a tough schedule, but I don't think that that's going to matter much. If Brett Holmes is able to continue with the build and get the weapons we need and fix the defensive side of the ball, I don't see the schedule as being that much of a problem. So yeah, Ben Johnson got paid, well deserved, and glad he's back. Yep, absolutely. Bijan at 18 would be a wild pick. You know what? I haven't done any of my draft research yet, so I'm not going to be making any predictions or anything like that until about combine. And then I will be able to give you my crystal clear opinions on what I think the Lions need and who I think the best choices are going to be at those positions. But until combine, it does not make sense to me whatsoever. There are so many names that fall off and rise up, and about combine time is pretty much when you get your set list of positioning on who with the rankings and stuff. So that's pretty much when we make our choice. Plus the fact that we put so much effort into our draft coverage that if we do it real early, it will burn the daylights out of us. So no. So I know somebody in our Facebook group made a great just suggestion, and it was just to kind of be funny and be silly. But he's like, what would imagine if someone did a mocking people who do multiple mock drafts? And I said, don't give me any good ideas because you know I'm gonna run. I'm crazy enough to run with them. I would have a lot of fun making fun of some of these mock drafts that I've been seeing because, oh Lord, they make me want to drink. They make me want to drink. Y'all just make me want to drink with these mock drafts. Man, it's just like what? What? Uh, yeah. The Chiefs are going to be having a game in Germany. It's not official yet. I would that would be interesting. I would love to see them get that game against Kansas City overseas. So I don't know what you guys think of that. Are you excited about the possibility of the Lions playing in Kansas City in Germany? Um, or does it not matter to you whatsoever? Tornado. I'm so excited to about next year. The Lions are a place people want to be for a change. Swift will be worth keeping if part of a 1-2 punch only. Swift can't be our only running back. I think that Swift's time here is done. I honestly do. I don't think that he's going to be here very much longer. I just don't. Everything in me says that Swift's time is up here. So the home part is easy. The away part will be tough. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be as tough as people think. It's going to be tough, but it depends on how the Lions do in this offseason in order to address that. It could be made a whole lot easier. Ben the Builder. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Can we fix this team? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. When can we expect to see Kurt in that Bears cap? I'm not letting that go. He's off on vacation, but I will not let that go. You know I'm not gonna let that go. That Bears cap is gonna be on at some point. I don't know when, but we gonna make it happen. We gonna make it happen. If I have to get one of those like little like things that we could put on the screen to put one on him, I will do that. uh, so one of 7 teams will head to Germany with KC. We've been to Europe recently. We traveled at least last year. I think the NFL will let Amon Ra have his Germany game. Is there a connection to Amon Ra in Germany that I don't know about? Because I have not been up to speed on that. So what is the connection with Amon Ra and Germany? Because I have not gotten a chance to hear anything about that. Don't get me started on mock drafters and they're dumb for the Lions picks. Oh my gosh. So, these mock drafts have been incredibly awful. I mean, I've seen some bad mock drafts, but this year they have just been, what? Are you just trying to let everything burn, let the world burn? What are you doing? Just what? Al Torrey, what? Al Torrey, what? A tight end at 6? Those are powerful drugs this person's on. What in the world? Are you seriously? I don't even know what the Lions are going to address at 6. There's so many good choices here. Of what they could do. Let me figure that out as time gets closer. The Lions playing KC in Germany, but guarantees I get the game on TV. Oh, was he born in Germany? Was Amon Ra born in Germany? Well, you learn something new every day. Well, already then. Oh, his mama is German? All the kids speak fluently? I know he had all of the others. I know he spoke multiple languages and stuff, but I wasn't sure about the German connection necessarily. I believe Sun God's mother has some German background. Not 100% sure, but he can speak German. Yeah, I thought that was one of the languages he could speak, but I wasn't sure of the German connect. Yeah, so that would make sense. That would be cool. That actually would be awesome, to be honest. If he's from Germany or his mother's from Germany and he gets to go and represent that and actually win a game there, wow, that's a great story. That is a great storyline. That is a very great storyline. Okay. So yeah, Ben Johnson's return is a very, very huge deal. So I am super excited for the offensive side of the ball. Now, the defensive side of the ball, I was going to ask, do you think that Aaron Glenn will return or get a job somewhere else and be replaced? You know what? My unpopular opinion, my intuition, my gut is that Aaron Glenn will not be here at the start of next season. I could be wrong. I'm not guaranteeing it, but everything in me is saying that Aaron Glenn will not be here. We will replace him. What do you guys think about that? I don't see it. I honestly don't see it. I think Sheila's going to roll up with those white diamonds. Somebody's going to offer him something. Or I don't know what, but I don't see him continuing here in Detroit. And if he does, he better get his act together next year because that defense is just ripe dog shit in a bag set on fire on someone's porch. Who's the old? Wait a minute, Detroit fan man. Hold up. The old water girl is too good. We simply can't replace her yet. Her contract is too burdensome to get. Who's the old water girl? What is that? Did I miss a part of this conversation? I honestly think Glenn will interview as a formality, but he'll be back just like our other DCs who would interview, but then eventually. For some reason, I know it looks like that right now, but I had the same feeling right before Aubrey Pleasant was gone. So take it as it is. We'll see how that prediction unfolds in the coming weeks. Good coaches leave for promotions. We need to get used to it as we continue to get better. You know what? We were able to keep Ben Johnson, and Ben Johnson could have actually left. Ben Johnson actually over Aaron Glenn had the better opportunity to go. But I think this storyline with Ben Johnson, is too good. He got the raise he absolutely deserves. And my bold prediction has been that it could be a very big possibility that he becomes the Lions head coach in the future. Just calling it first. Remember, no one who tell me now if anyone else has said this, because I want to make sure that I am the first person to say this, because I'm calling Ben Johnson as a head coach for the Lions in the future. And I better not hear anybody else, well, I said that a long time ago. No, I said this first. So if anybody else is saying it, let me know now, because I haven't heard it anywhere. Ben Johnson should definitely be named assistant head coach and be right there with Dan Campbell on every decision. Honestly, I think once Ben Johnson gets more experience, he should overtake Dan Campbell. I mean, I understand Dan Campbell's great. Don't get me wrong, but he has a very specific need for right now with the players. But I think Ben Johnson's innovative play calling will be more important to the Lion after this team gets fully built and established enough. So I'm not saying he's going to be head coach like anytime soon, maybe in a year, 2 years, something like that. But I do think that he has a very great potential to be the head coach for the Lions in the future. And it would be very in the Lions' best interest to nurture that and make that happen. So, here's an interesting topic, you guys. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this more than mine, because I don't really have a very good thought on this quite yet. But what position do you think that Brad Holmes will address first in the free agency during the season? We're not talking draft. What's he going to do in free agency? What position does he tackle? I want to see the guess on that. I know it's going to be I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the defensive side of the ball. Dan Spano says corner. Do we go with something in free agency, or do we wait for corner development in the draft? You know, I know there's a lot of talk about it, so I'm just going to he may be able to grab a DT as well. So we had this discussion earlier this week. There is a corner, the highest paid one in the league, or the highest graded one in the league, Jalen Ramsey. Is there a trade for that? Do you guys think that it's worth the trade? Because I haven't gotten to hear your guys' thoughts on that so much. You heard mine. I don't think it's a good idea. But if they do address free agency, do they go after him if the opportunity is available? Or do they go for someone else? Cameron Sutton from North Carolina. What the hell am I talking about today? From New Orleans, a guy AG loves, but also in the draft. Yeah, I'm I'm interested in seeing people's names because I'm going to be looking at those guys, and I'm thinking I might even do a show by myself with you guys, just kind of show you how I break down draft picks, because I don't do it like everybody else does, and I know I don't. But my player evaluation is a lot more accurate. So my draft choices compared to what he actually gets picked are terrible. But I'm pretty dead on about how good the players are, or how bad they are. So I am collecting these names from you guys. Yeah, Ramsey makes too much. My biggest problem is we are just getting out of cap hell. We are just getting out of cap hell. Do we really want to risk all our capital in cash and maybe even picks to grab this guy who, I mean, he's a baller for real, but the second he's not coddled and gets his way, he wants to run somewhere else, and then that just shoves us into cap hell? Nah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing with Ramsey. Okay, I got heat on my Ramsey thing this week because I said Ramsey has the attitude of a diva, right? And it's like, what the fuck? And I got someone who was talking to me about, well, what the fuck is she talking about with attitudes? There's always attitudes in football. I said there's two main attitudes in football. There's the team player attitude, where you're not only invested in your own personal success, but you're invested in the rest of your team and seeing them succeed and doing whatever it takes, including pay cuts, to make sure that happens. And then there is the diva who is concerned only about himself, regardless of the effect of the rest of the team. And so why would you want to risk that? Why would you want to bring that kind of cancer into the locker room? It makes no sense. Doug Michael said, I'd go with a veteran free agency DT. You know what? I don't know. You know what they could do, though? They could go for like a running back, maybe. They could go for a running back in free agency, too. Running back and cornerback do make sense, though, because those are the two positions that are just a shit show in Detroit. Player's going to need to chill on money if he wants to win with the Lions. We'll pay, but not such level pay. You know what? Look, I'm so sick of these divas in football. The diva mentality in football's got to go. Yeah, he's not a culture guy. He absolutely is a diva. And if the team here's the only caveat I see with Ramsey. Like, if the Lions were in a better position and we've got the offensive side of the ball, it's ranked in the top 10. If we had a defense that was in the top 10 too, and we just needed that one critical piece, and we were financially set enough to do things, I wouldn't hesitate to go after Ramsey as the position of it was with Khalil Mack and the Bears. There was that one critical piece they needed to just kind of, to jump the gun. In that scenario, he makes sense. But right now, he absolutely makes 0 sense for this team. 0 cents. 0 cents. Dan, you can't spell team without me? I'm like, wait a minute. The M and the E aren't together, though. Okay. This is the first time in ages we have not had divas. You haven't had. Let me see. Who else was a diva? Who was the last diva for the Lions? Who would you call a diva? Who was the last diva that the Lions have had? Who would you consider? Because I don't really recall that much of a diva, except for maybe No Play Slay, but he kind of had an excuse in some ways because of Fatty Patty. But what who would be a diva? It's not coming to mind who would be a diva. Kaminsky and Anzalone, they're not divas, are they? Or are you talking about something else? Drafting Robinson is a real possibility. Which Robinson? It would be crazy if we tried to sign Jaron Reed from FTP after he tried to decapitate Swift on the Walker ejection play. He's a solid, but fuck that guy. You know what? I am extremely pissed at the NFL for this whole fucking thing. Like, if the Lions had any solid reason to just tear the NFL apart about the refereeing and officiating, it's this whole debacle right here. Like, I know Lions have had their issues with refs, and it's been Detroit versus everybody, and there's been some fucked up calls. But this, in so many respects, took the cake. Because here you had this play where you're reviewing this call, this whole entire scenario after the game. You got this, and you call a dance that wasn't called in the game. You charge him you charge Jamal Williams a second offense fine, but you give a first offense fine to Quay Walker, who has attacked medical staff twice, been ejected twice, no suspension, and yet you still do not even address the fact you want to put a second offense on a excessive celebration sexy dance, which the cheerleaders motherfucking do. And yet, you completely ignore a defenseless player forearm hit to the head helmet that's clearly listed in your rule book. No fine, no penalty, nada, nada. What? And this was on a review after the game, never addressed. And it was a situation where it led to someone being put on concussion protocol. What the hell, NFL? What the absolute hell? And it's been several situations where they have blown this shit so badly. And don't ever talk to me about player safety, because none of y'all give a goddamn up in the NFL. You do not give two shits about player safety, because you've proved it this year over and over and over and over again. don't talk to me about player safety. Don't bring it up. Because I am very pissed off about that. Extremely pissed off about that. I think our draft will be mainly defensive with a quarterback late in the draft. I think the agency will go after pass protection. We need to shut down opponents. Big third down passing plays. I could see, here's what I see. I could see running back being a pick. I could see replacing Vitae. I could see DB. I could see linebacker. I could see safety. I could see cornerback. Backup quarterback for me is like one of the, like, it's a need and all, but like not the biggest. I mean, not compared to everything else. I think we'll go with good value guys in free agency. Guys like Deshaun Elliott and Anzalone were pretty good contributors to the defense and didn't break the bank. God, please replace Anzalone. Like, I don't mind Anzalone returning and stuff, but please don't make him a starter. Oh, Galladay. Okay. I could see Galladay being the diva. I could see Galladay being a diva. Okay. We aren't good enough to complain about the rest. Stink Carolina. You know what? No. It has nothing to do about whether you're good enough or you're not. Absolutely not a thing. Yes, you have every right to complain about that. Every freaking right. Doesn't matter how good you are or you're not. Because you know how many, you were in a position to be in the playoffs and got screwed out of it for shit that happened in other teams that they shouldn't have handled the way they did. So bullshit. It has nothing to do about whether you're good or not or whatever. It's all about accountability of what the NFL themselves say is a priority. So it should happen for across the board, regardless of how good or bad a team is. If that's actually your bullshit fucking MO stance, the mountain you want to die on, the mountain you say you want to die on, that you're all for player safety and we're doing everything we can and blah, 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 and you're doing this kind of shit and putting people in freaking position to be like seriously hurt, and you don't even address this shit, and you're sitting here rewarding players for being violent to people who aren't even athletes on the field. Bullshit. No, bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Yeah, Sheila contacted owners about the officiating in the Seattle Rams game. Now that you mentioned it, I'm surprised she didn't make calls on that situation. I bet you she did. I bet you any money. She gonna roll up on that league meeting with her white diamonds on, and she gonna have some things to say. I know that there's been talk that they're gonna discuss the Sky Judge situation, and that being a possibility. But yeah, I think Sheila gonna roll up on him. I really do. Sheila gonna go all OG on him. I like how Val talks about how she feels and doesn't sugarcoat it. You know what? I'm here. I'm real about it. I don't care. You know, if you're either gonna love me or hate me, but it is what it is. Guard in rounds 2 or 3, coach for DBs. We can't coach DBs. You know, not right now. You can't. That's why I think Aaron Glenn needs to go bye-bye. But divas and money managers, I consider the same. Yeah. We haven't won a Super Bowl since 1957, and even that technically wasn't a Super Bowl because the Super Bowl kind of existed after that fact. But but you know what? Don't let that get to you. Don't let that get to you. Good grief. It took the Chicago Cubs 108 years and 19 minutes of rain to be able to accomplish a World Series win. So you'll get there. The Lions will get there. I'm not the one making these things a reality. The power structure of the owners. Yeah, this has got to be ridiculous. And they have every ability to rig the games as they want to, because they're considered an entertainment business. The NFL is entertainment. So they can rig all they want to legally. So I don't know what in the world they're going to be able to do about this. They already treat their refs like shit. They even on their own. I brought this up in the Gold members meeting. They brought it up to where the NFL referees are supposed to be putting 30 to 35 hours a week into training and gaining their skills with the game and developing their physicality to keep up with the game and all this other nonsense. I mean, Michael Huckster knows this. I read this stuff out loud, and my God, if you want the best entertainment in the world, you need to find this with the operations for the NFL. It is the funniest shit you will ever read about how, all the steps that they take to be consistent with their calls. And it's just the biggest load of BS I think I've ever read on the internet. It's just absolutely hilarious. You think we're going to have a Sky Ref next year? Huh? They got to do something. Because, I mean, how much are the fan bases going to get sick of this a year after year after year after year, dealing with this nonsense? Absolutely. So, anywho, any other questions you guys got before we end the show? Because we've got like 7 minutes left. So if there's anything else you want to kind of talk about, questions you haven't gotten to during the year, anything like that, let me know, because I'll be more than happy to give you my opinion on them. Nothing like the subjectivity in NFL rules. Yeah, that's the other thing. They need to revamp that whole rule book, because I read that rule book myself and it's like, good grief. That thing is so damn vague. How they training anybody in anything is beyond me. Who are the best coaches who could leave yet? I don't know. I honestly don't know. If Aaron Glenn goes, who would you want to? If Aaron Glenn were to go, who would you want to replace him? Do you think it's an in-house thing, or do you want some? Is there somebody that you think we could grab? Yeah, the depth of the coaching trees is really complicated. There are certain coaching trees that are way better than others. But like Andy Reid could have a great coaching tree, but like some of his branches have fallen off way too early. Matt Nagy, and yeah, quarterback, the coaches, linebacker, running back. We're fine on the offensive side of the ball. It's the defensive back situation is bad, especially. I think the whole defensive back situation is just extremely important to address, because it's probably absolutely the weakest of the lines to me. So there's got to be something with that. But anyway, I'm looking at this off season. I think this is going to be an incredibly fun, interesting ride in this off season. I think we got a lot to look forward to. During the offseason here at Detroit Lions on the Prowl, we're going to be, breaking everything down for you, all the different positions, um, whose names are, out there to be worth it. I might even do something even fun and have y'all do them. We'll do the mock draft again. We did that last year. That was great, y'all. You guys were crazy as hell. That was like the most interesting mock draft, I swear, that I've ever seen in my life. So we'll do that again. We'll do a Proud Nation mock draft. And see what you guys have to say versus what I have to say. And have like one of those shows where we have that party. Whether it be a free for all Friday or not. But you guys, I wanted to actually say that I do appreciate all of you hanging out with us, supporting us every day, from the gold members, the silver members, the bronze members, to even those who just lurk behind the scenes and never make a comment. We see you. We know you exist. But so, this show is about you guys. My Bears fandom is not an issue unless you make it one. And hopefully I've made it clear that I love this team. I love where this team is going. And I love the fan base. You guys are all the best. Like we say, it's all love here at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And I can't make a heart, y'all. I don't know what. I can't do it. How you do this mess? Okay, is that close? Okay. But anyhow, but I love you guys, and we are going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. So I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy it. We got lots of stuff coming up. I'm thinking Kurt will be back next week, later in the week. So the word for 2023 will be unpredictable. I don't know about unpredictable because I kind of have an idea where Brad Holmes is going, but I don't have my facts together quite yet. So we got to wait for that. But it is going to be, it's emotional for sure. So that'll be my word, emotional for now. Well, the draft, we got free agency first, we got free agency first. We got combine. We got lots of things going first. So it's only like a month away before things start going. I put out the schedule earlier this week. All the important dates are there for you to take care of. So you guys, yeah, I'm not going to do a Luke preach. Well, look, I think I spent the first 10 minutes of the show doing a Luke preach with myself here. So I'm just saying, you guys, my Luke preach would be, you know what? I don't got nothing to preach to you guys. You guys are the best. You guys rock. You guys are killing it, man. You guys keep being you. Be the best versions of you that you can be, as Kurt says. Boss up, ball out, and thank you for allowing this Bears person to be part of the family as well. So, yeah, don't be a chump. Do your research. Good grief, please do your research because you make me drink. Y'all make me drink with these. Do your research. Don't come at me with the stuff. Like, I do not want to have another Malik Willis off season again. Linebackers' lives matter. Proud Nation's full of love. And until Monday, I hope you have a great weekend. And of course, we love you, Jim.